welcome to the Kindness Kangaroo Library, and today we have another Friday feature, and it's our story time session. Every Friday, we sit in the Kindness Kangaroo Library and we read a special story, and today is no different. We have another special story for you today by a local author. I love to tell stories by local authors because it's so important to support local, and I love to read stories every Friday because it's so important to read to kids. And you know what? Adults could be a kid too now and then and hear the stories as well. As usual, at the end of the story, I have a little activity that you can take into the afternoon, and that way you can take the story a little bit further. It's always nice to do some kind of learning and extend the story a little bit further, so the activities will help you do that. Alright, so today's story is called Kapki and Pogo, and it's by Surbhi, Kumar. And this is a fun story about friendship, acceptance, inclusion, and kindness, which is all the things that Kindness Kangaroo likes to promote as part of the Kindness Kangaroo project. I will post a link to how you can get the book yourself at the end of this post. I also will post something that will help with the craft as well. So I'll do that after the video because then I can actually post. Okay, so are you ready? Here we go. Kapki and Pogo. Make sure you can see the great pictures. Once upon a time, in a deep green forest, Kapki the chameleon hatched from her egg and crawled out into her nest. It was warm, cozy, and dark in the nest. She was happy to be out of the crumped egg. She stretched her legs and her entire body, then curled up and fell asleep. It was hard work hatching out of an egg. Kapki's mother fed her, cuddled her, and in a few days itself, Kapki gained strength and began to grow. Every day, Kapki wanted to go out and play with the other young chameleons, but her mother gently refused, telling her, "Not yet." Her mom told her she needed to grow more. Kapki was happy to listen to her mom and stay inside. One day, when her mom was not looking, Kapki stepped out, even though her mother had told her not to. She approached the other chameleons and smiled, ready to play with them. They moved away and ignored her. Kapki asked again if she could play. They refused. Kapki felt hurt and went back home. She got inside and asked her mother why the other chameleons were being mean to her. Her mother looked sad and said because she had only 3 legs. She was different, and not everyone understood that it's okay to be different. Kapki looked down for the first time and realized she had only 3 legs! She told her mother she didn't feel any different. She began walking away from her habitat feeling sad. Soon she began to run, and run, and run. While running, Kapki realized she could run fine on 3 legs, and she began running faster. She realized being different physically did not stop her from doing anything which a 4-legged chameleon could do. Kapki kept running deeper into the forest, and soon lost her way. Kapki slowed down, looking around at the unfamiliar terrain. She reached a pond and she sat down on a rock, feeling tired. She heard bugs buzzing and fish splashing in the water. She felt scared and lonely. She suddenly heard a voice asking her, "Are you all right?" She looked around but didn't see anyone. She heard the voice again. "Why are you sad?" She wondered who it was. She suddenly realized the voice was coming from under her. She looked down at the rock. She saw she was sitting on a turtle, not a rock, and she jumped off immediately. The turtle stuck out his neck slowly from inside his shell and said, "Hi, I'm Pogo. What's your name?" She replied, "Kapki." Pogo said, "Nice to meet you, Kapki. Wanna play?" Kapki replied, "Sure." Kapki and Pogo played all day. They played hide and seek. Pogo showed Kapki how to swim. Kapki taught Pogo how she could climb trees. They both went bug hunting. Kapki then stuck out her tongue and ate the bugs buzzing around them. Pogo scrunched up his nose in disgust. He told her he only ate leaves and the odd vegetation. The day went by quickly. As the sun began to set, Pogo told Kapki he had to go home for dinner, and Kapki became sad again. She told Pogo why she was sad before, and how the other chameleons had made fun of her for being different. She told him how she began to run and ended up being lost, and she didn't know the way home anymore. Pogo asked her how she was different, and she pointed to her 3 legs. Pogo said he hadn't noticed she was different. He said she was his friend, and it didn't matter how she looked. Kapki felt happy to hear him call her his friend and not see her differently. Pogo exclaimed, "Hey, I have a brilliant idea. Why don't you come home with me? My mom and dad will know how to help you." Pogo took Kapki home near the far end of the pond by a fallen log. He introduced her to his parents. He told them about how Kapki was lost. Pogo's parents were happy to meet Kapki and invited her to eat with the family. She sat by while Pogo and his family ate. Pogo's parents said their neighbor, Mr. Grimley, the frog, would know where the chameleons lived. Mr. Grimley knew the whole forest and where all the animals lived. After dinner, they would take her home. Kapki felt happy that she made a new friend who liked her exactly for who she was. She looked forward to many days like this day when they had fun and adventures together. She was happy also that she would be going home soon. Kapki and Pogo became best friends forever. The end. And there you see them, best friends forever. So cute. It didn't matter to the turtle that Kapki was any different because they could just be friends. And I think that's a great moral to the story, that differences are actually a good thing, because then we can learn how to look how the chameleon showed about climbing trees, and then the turtle showed how to swimming. And so having differences will help us learn more. And so that's a really great thing. And I just love that story by Surbhi Kumar, and I'm going to make sure I put a link underneath so that you can get that story for yourself. Okay, so for today's craft, you don't need too much. My favorite thing to use, it seems, as crafts, because I've used them an awful lot lately, are the paper fasteners or brads. These are these little metal things that have the little legs that fold up. Hard to show in this picture. And 2 paper plates. So, okay, any size paper plate. This is just like a little cake plate left over from a birthday. And so I wanted to use this. So 2 paper plates. Okay. So then what you need to do is on one plate, you're going to paint all different colors, because Kapki is a chameleon. And something that chameleons can do to help adapt to their surroundings is that they can change color. Now, they don't change lots of different colors like purple and pink, much like we see, but they change colors for different ways that they feel, or to hide in different places. So they can be a little more green or brown when they're hiding in the trees, or they can be, more brown when they're on the ground. So that's what they do, and that's part of an adaptation of animals. Sometimes for their defenses, to protect them from getting attacked by other animals. And if you want to learn more about that, there are some unit studies at the Quite a Character classroom that will on animal adaptations, including the chameleon. Okay, back to the craft. We're going to color in a circle, and you can kind of cut it, divide it up like a pie, or a piece of pizza, or a bunch of pizza slices, and color each slice a different color. Okay. Then on the other one, you're going to cut out the shape of a chameleon. Now, I can post this underneath as well so that you can print it and have it to cut out. Or you could cut your own out, cut a little bigger, probably get some help from a parent to do the cutting part, because you're cutting inside the plate. We don't want to cut the ends at all, we just want to cut inside. Okay, so then you put a hole, again, something else a parent might need to help, put a hole in the middle. And when you put the 2 plates together and you take your paper fastener and you put it through the hole, so you put a hole in the one with your stencil and a hole in the one that you colored, and you put it through, and then you fold it over, so that the idea is that they turn. So the plates go like nesting, like they would in a stack, okay? So then you've got your colorful chameleon, and because the plate turns now, as you turn the plate, the chameleon can change colors. Look at how lovely that is, and all the different colors he changes. What colors do you suppose he would be when he was sad? At the beginning of the book, when the other chameleons wouldn't play with him. And then when he was lost and alone, Would he have a different color? And what about when he met his friend Pogo the turtle? Would he be a different color? So you could kind of tell the story on your own way by changing the colors of the chameleon. All right, everybody, thank you for joining me in this episode of Friday Features Storytime Session. Again, the book is Kapki and Pogo, written by Surbhi, Kumar. And I'm going to post that underneath so that you can get it. And this reading will also go up on YouTube so you can listen to it again if you want. But I encourage you to get your own book so that you can tell your own stories with your chameleon craft about more adventures of the two friends, Kapki and Pogo. All right, everybody. See you next week. Bye.